Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. He's still sleeping, so I should be a little quiet. So good morning. We were talking about what Tony Robbins used to talk about: personal power, the ability to act, and the idea that we know all of these things and we have all this knowledge, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be successful. Knowledge isn't power. Knowledge is potential power. And my message to you yesterday was to schedule things, to put first things first. That's a Stephen Covey idea from the 7 Habits, which I still think is one of my favorite personal development books of all time, and his system is an incredible system. Tony Robbins has a system too, called RPM. It's an amazing system. It's very complicated, which makes sense because, Tony runs like 36 companies or something. So he needs a system that allows him to organize running 36 companies. But the idea that you need in order to start accomplishing your goals is you need to look at each of them and look at the next step and schedule that step. It's really that simple. I mean, each day, what is it that I need to do in order to take the next step in my goal? Put that in your day and then do it. Sounds simple. Now, is it simple? Well, not always. Les Brown, who is another great motivational speaker, if you ever want to, not that I am, but I'm talking about Tony Robbins. If you ever want to hear somebody else that is really wonderful to listen to, Les Brown is amazing. And he says it this way: do the things that are easy and your life will be hard. Do the things that are hard and your life will be easy. So when you start out changing and exercising your personal power and moving towards these goals, it takes discipline. You've got to simply discipline yourself to get certain things done. And then over time, life becomes easy because when you discipline for one day, then another day and another day, they stack. Like saving money. If you're young and you take 10% of every dime that you make, you take 10% of every dollar, 10% of everything that you make, and you invest it, and you invest it in a reasonable fashion, the ways that we've talked about, over time, in 30 years, financially, your life is going to become easy because you've done the disciplined thing. If starting today, you don't eat any crap, and all you eat is healthy foods, or 80% of what you eat are healthy foods, and you exercise on a regular basis, and you continue to do that for a period of time, your health is going to change dramatically. So scheduling is a way to help you become more disciplined because it allows you to set aside the time first for the things that are most important. And when we don't do that, what do we have a tendency to do? We have a tendency to go to the things that distract us, right? And this is all part of how do we change how we feel. This goes back to our triad. So let's review. Our triad is everything that we do works on our state. And we said the number one thing that gives you a high quality of life is state management, the ability to manage your state. Number 2 thing is the people that you surround yourself with is who you become. When you manage your state, there's 3 things: your physiology, your physical body, your focus/belief, the thing that you focus on, whatever you focus on, you get. Remember the telephone poles? And then language. Physiology, focus/belief, and then language. So when it's time to do things and we instead go do other stuff, we look at other stuff, these are ways that we're adjusting our state so that we feel good. So let's say in order to change how you feel, you go shopping. Okay, well, that's somebody that changes their focus, because rather than focusing on the things that you have to do or the problems that you have, you go focus on shopping and changes how you feel. Some people will change how they feel by changing the chemical makeup of their body. They'll drink alcohol or they'll smoke a cigarette. That's changing your physiology. Some people will change their focus by, one of my favorite things to do when I was in college, when I needed to study for a test, was I'd get everything all set up to study for a test, and then I would clean my entire dorm room. Well, I was changing my focus. Rather than focusing on what I needed to do, I focused on, well, I'm being productive because I'm cleaning my room, so I'm not wasting time. But the problem was I wasn't focusing on the thing that I needed to do most. So that's why scheduling is a great way to start enhancing those things that you need to get done. Schedule them first, do them first, and then you can do all the other stuff. A great reason to exercise in the morning because you get up and you get it done. Whereas if you wait till the end of the day, you might have more difficulty. You might be like, oh, I'm tired. I'd rather do this. I'd rather do that. So, the earlier in the day you can schedule those things that you need to do, then the more likelihood that you're going to get them. But in order to accomplish these goals, you simply have to start out with a bit of discipline. You simply have to do the things that need to be done. Okay, well, what's another way that we could look at that and make it a little bit easier? We all have an area that we're able to do something all the time without effort, something productive. So every one of you have something that you're fantastic at in terms of being productive. You keep your garage clean. You keep your bed clean. You're very good at cooking. You're very good at budgeting and finance. You're very good at, fixing a car, whatever. Everybody has something that they're able to do that others might not necessarily be able to do, and you do it without effort. It comes super easy to you. So like getting up and exercising in the morning, for me, comes without effort. That is something that I just love to do. I want to wake up in the morning and I do it. Now, I didn't always feel that way, by the way. I used to always exercise at the end of the day. And I hated exercising in the morning. Hated it. It's not what I wanted to do. Then I had a child, and I realized that the morning was the only time that I could control my calendar. And so I figured I have to figure out how to exercise in the morning. So, remember 21 days and you create a new habit. That's it. So I set out that I was absolutely going to, for 21 days, exercise in the morning. I scheduled it and I made it a must. How do we make it a must? We figure out our why. And then, I knew that I could always exercise. I never missed that. That wasn't a problem. It was that I had to do it in the morning. So I applied those same standards, those same beliefs, those same approaches to exercising in the afternoon with exercising in the morning. And then I did things to make it enjoyable. I got myself some new music. I got myself a new pair of shoes. I figured out what I started out doing when I started doing it was I found a class that I really liked. I found a spinning class, and I'd never done a spinning class. And so I started that, and it was fun. There was people there that I knew, and it was a good time. So before I knew it, 2 months had gone by, and I had been exercising in the morning, and now I actually got up and looked forward to exercising in the morning. Plus, I took a moment at the end of each day to appreciate that I had done it and that I had all this time in the afternoon to spend time with my kid, to spend time with my wife at the time in order to, enjoy life. So let's say that budgeting is the thing that you're putting off. Okay. So find something that you're really good at and figure out what's the strategy that you use to be really good at that. You have a lot of confidence. There's a way that you approach it that makes it so that you're excited to do it. Usually you're probably pretty good at it. That's one of the reasons that you enjoy it. So take that same approach, that same physiology, that same focus, that same belief, all of the feelings that you have regarding that particular subject, whatever it is, whether or not you're a good cook or whatever, and apply it to the thing that you're not necessarily, it doesn't come so easily to you. Look at it in the exact same fashion, and it'll be easier. And schedule the time to do it. And then once you get it done, do it in the morning so that it's easier to do. It comes quicker. And then once you get it done, celebrate. Each time, celebrate that you did it. More often than not, you're going to find that the idea of doing this particular activity, whatever it is, let's talk about exercising in the morning. Let's say it's that. The idea of doing that is much more difficult than when you actually do it. Most of the time when there's something that we need to do that we put off, when we actually sit down and do it, it wasn't nearly as bad as we thought. And when you do sit down and finally start getting those things done, you feel better about yourself. You feel proud because you actually attacked it. But at the end of the day, if you want to live the life that you really want, you want to accomplish your goals, you want to live the life of your dreams, it does take a certain level of discipline. Remember all the stuff that we talked about. There's two types of pain: the pain of discipline and the pain of regret. Discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. If ultimately you think you're having trouble accomplishing this task, number one, write down all of the things that you'll gain, but write down everything that it's going to cost you. Look 20 years from now and imagine as though you have not taken the time to get disciplined and accomplish this task, and see what's happened to you in your life and see who you've let down over that 20 years because you didn't take the time to become disciplined and to accomplish these goals. That will give you the leverage that you need in order to start attacking this. And then attack it just like AA. There's a reason AA works, and it's because it's a wonderful approach. Those steps are all of the things that we're talking about. The first thing that you got to do is you got to face what the problem is. I am an alcoholic, and and they make you go feel the pain, right? They make you go talk to all of your family members who have, and they tell you all of the problems that you've caused them because of your activity. Then you do a massive pattern interrupt, you stop drinking, and then you start instilling new patterns. Well, this is really how we change anything. So ask yourself, what is it going to cost you if you don't change? And go out 5, 10, 15, 20 years. What is it going to cost the people around you? What is it going to cost in your relationships? What is it going to cost in your relationships with your kids? Where are you going to be financially if you don't discipline yourself in 20 years? Then ask yourself, what are you going to gain? Imagine you do this 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Imagine you start scheduling these times and you start working towards these outcomes. Where are you going to be then? Then take a look at that and then decide, which life do you want? 20 years from now, we're all going to arrive. It's just a matter of how are we going to arrive? Are you going to arrive based upon a life that you've designed, or are you going to arrive based upon a life that's designed based on a whim? And it starts with scheduling the first things first, and it starts with today. Putting forward the things that you need to do in order to accomplish your goals, and having the smallest amount of discipline in order to do those. And just approach them like something that you're great at. And it only takes a couple of weeks. I mean, think about it. I'm 53 years old. I've been on this planet for over 53 years. And it only takes 3 or 4 weeks, and you've created a new habit. If you exercise for the next 30 days, the statistics are that the likelihood is you will exercise the rest of your life. Even if you have a period of time where you leave it, you'll always come back. You'll be addicted that much. New habits take 21 days. That's it. 3 weeks. And now you've developed a new habit. So if you decide that you want to get up early in the morning, do it for 3 weeks and reward yourself each time, and you'll have created a new habit to move forward. Les Brown, I think his phrase is fantastic. Do what's easy and your life will be hard. Do what's hard and your life will be easy. The people that wake up and work towards their goals, and it only takes a little bit of effort. Remember that 2 millimeters, the difference between excellent and outstanding that we talked about a long time ago. That's all it takes in order to be in that class that stands out, and that's where all the rewards are. And the people that are at that level, that have the discipline, that do all the work, they kind of keep quiet as to what the rewards are, because they're so exponentially large. They're overwhelming when you get to that particular situation. So design your own life, folks. And today is the day. Start now. Don't let another day waste. This doesn't take that long. Take the 10 or 15 minutes on Sunday to schedule your day. If you haven't scheduled your day today, then take a couple of minutes. Take a look at your goals. Take a look at the next steps in order to accomplish those outcomes, and then schedule it. Put the first things first and decide, this is what I'm going to do from now on. If today's already scheduled, fine. Then take the time to schedule this weekend. Take the time. Sunday, I'm going to food prep. So that way I've got the food that I need in order to take care of stuff. If you can't do it, get somebody else to do it. That was a decision I had to make a couple of years ago. I got so busy, and because of my neck, I have a neck issue, I was not able to food prep. So I hired a personal assistant. And somebody would be like, a personal assistant, are you kidding me? Who do you think you are? Well, guess what? It wasn't long after that, and I did 43 depositions in 30 days in like 6 states because of the cases that I had going on. I didn't have time to food prep. I didn't have time. And during those depositions, I got to look down a great deal, and there's only a certain amount of looking down that I can do with my neck. Had I not hired that personal assistant to do those things for me, I wouldn't be able to get that done. And I was able to get that done, and then there was an exponential financial reward, but more importantly, I did a great job for my clients, and my clients certainly deserved it because they deserve the outcomes that they got. So make the decisions and start today. Don't let another day go by that you don't put the things first that you need to put first in every way. With regards to your relationship, take the time to tell your spouse how you feel and to do something for them. With regards to your kids, take the time to do something for them. Even if it's just you send them a snap, or even if it's just you send them a card, put those things first, because the pride that happens as you start to have this discipline, and it's just like anything else, it's a muscle. Start small and work on it, and it will grow. And that discipline will grow and grow and grow. And the next thing you know, you're going to be doing more and more and more towards the accomplishment of your goals. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great Friday. Let's take care of each other, and I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about procrastination.